Hi, I'm Mark Small. This is Civil Discourse now. It is December 5th, 2024. Cassie Jackson is here today. Cassie, how are you doing?
Doing good. Thanks for having me. Good to see you again.
I'm just, we're in the waning days of the United States Republic. One of the things that I had a little problem reading this past weekend was Trump is threatening to have people who criticize his judges imprisoned
Mm,
because he says they shouldn't. Now, of course, he criticized a whole bunch of judges, and
right.
all I did was criticize horrors that he put on the Supreme Court. And I use horrors not just specifically in the sexual term, but as a metaphor, as an allegory, and and he didn't put the biggest one of all on there, the person who got more money than say a power forward in the NBA, and that's Clarence Thomas. We'll get that to another time. But right now, people are saying, man, it hits January 20th. That's the day upon which Trump will set a really small hand, or he's supposed to, and raise the other one in the air, and say he swears to protect, defend, and protect, defend, and something, the Constitution of the United States. Doesn't matter what the exact verbiage is because he's going to ignore it anyway. But it is protective. Anyways, he is in the process of putting people in positions preserve, protect, and defend the Constitution. He's putting people on the Supreme Court, not Supreme Court, executive offices that he's nominating right now, that went to destroy the very agencies and departments to which he's appointing them.
Mhm.
Um, that's kind of an indication of perhaps an enemy of the country once is telling Trump what to do. And and then we get to that oath. Uh, uh, he's President Biden is under the same oath. The evidence is from 2012 going forward, Russia, under the dictator Putin, has sought to invade the United States computer systems. Before anybody says that's kind of crazy, sounds like a computer invasion. Yeah, and that's a very real aspect of warfare today. In fact, some of the when they've got ads from the military, Army, Navy, Air Force, Marines, uh, they're promoting the notion you can gain computer skills in the military where they have huge budgets to fight cyber warfare.
Right.
And that being the case, um, we're being attacked by another country. And
An
that country,
invasion.
huh?
An invasion.
It is an invasion because they're actually in these systems. But more than that, you have a person in Trump who is an asset of the very country that's attacking us. Now, here are reasons why President Biden needs to exercise emergency powers that he has as president of the United States under 50 United States Code. I think it's 1621 at sec, because we are being attacked by another country. You have somebody who's taking over this government who said he's going to be a dictator.
So what are the laws that President Biden has at his disposal in the Constitution to mitigate invasion?
Okay, now, first of all, three things. One, it's not statutes in the Constitution, it's powers that are extended to him so that he can
Got it.
exercise emergency powers.
Got it.
Also, it's not to mitigate, it's to stop it.
Okay.
It's like any kind of a war. We have to do that.
Thank
Um,
you for clarifying that.
yeah, I mean, but here's the thing. Uh, you have that going on. You also have the fact that Trump cannot occupy that office. He engaged, encouraged, fomented, however you want to phrase it, insurrection. And under the 14th Amendment of the Constitution of the United States, paragraph 3, he cannot be president or hold any office. Now, here's the flip. It goes further. Anybody who is in Congress or any state office, any of those jobs, they come under the 14th Amendment, paragraph 3. They cannot hold office. And so it's not simply President Biden needs to act and stop Trump from taking office on January 20th, but also seek to remove from office those people who added in their voice and effort to January 6th, 2021 insurrection. Because once Trump's in there, we no longer have a republic. And once Trump's in there, he's going to be a dictator for, he's not going to leave that office. We're not going to have any more elections. Whereas President Biden, I don't like dictators. But if you've got a dictator on the one hand who's saying he's going to have people thrown in prison, members of the press, or people killed because he said, well, we can do that, against somebody who's saying we have a country that we have to protect, and who also did a lot to make up for the crap that Trump did to this country in 4 years. I mean, it's like, it's authoritarian rule. Yeah.
Do you think, what do you think? What?
We're in war right now. Go ahead.
Yeah. I think this is brilliant. What are your thoughts on if there are, who else is thinking this? Do you this can't be something that you're the first to think of, although for me you are, right? But what are the chances that people right now within the powers that can help to move this, to highlight this, whatever, do you think that's happening in the Democratic Party? Do you think you think all things are on the table with them right now? Because the sense that the public gets, or what I get, I'll just speak personally, is that they're throwing this away, they're letting it go, that people have kind of, there's so much fear that they're just kind of, they don't know how to proceed because they're afraid of what their livelihood is going to be like after the fact. Yeah.
The question that you asked, let me kind of explain the whole thing that's gone on. First of all, there have been other people on the internet, other people that I've seen, I've read, saying the same thing. Ingrid Batiste, who's a guest on the show a couple of days ago, and she's an activist in New York. She's saying, look, under the 14th Amendment, you can't, paragraph 3, 14.3 is how she phrases it. You can't do this. You cannot allow him to take office. But the other part is this. People who view this as being, well, it's just one of the things we're going to have to weather, aren't paying attention. This is not just something else we're going to have to weather. Also, the Democratic Party has given up half the field before they go to the game. They say, well, no, we want to be reasonable. So, and the rat bastards on the other side are wanting to say, oh, you gave us half the field, and we want half of what you've got there right now.
Right.
And they're going to do it. And they're making fun of people for not stopping this. We have to do it. People
I know.
need to write their people in Congress. There were people that were going to DC yesterday, and I don't know what's going on there, if it's demonstration or what, but realize also that if people are violent, we're going to lose.
Yeah.
And this is not the same thing as January 6th insurrection people who committed treason if they were getting any kind of aid from a foreign power. And if not, they are still in violation of the Insurrection Act. We need to let people know in DC and let President Biden know he has to do this.
Yeah, I don't know what he's fucking sitting on. He and his son are not going to be alive. This little pardon of his son. Do you think they're not coming for Hunter? Particularly after a part. I mean, truly, do they think there's going to be an after this for them? Even if. No.
In terms of his pardoning his son, how could he do that?
Oh, I just brought that up to be what is the point of doing that if the son's going to be under attack in 2 months, right?
Yep, but also George H.W. Bush did that for his son before he left office, when he was president, and Trump pardoned people like his son-in-law's father, pardoned him, and his son-in-law got $2 billion from the Saudis. But then he turns around and appoints that individual, Kushner, to be ambassador to France. I mean, this is insane. Okay, well, the President of the United States pardoned his son. That's nothing on a scale of what we have, of what Trump has done and what he stands to do.
And what he's literally saying he will do. Why are we not? He has literally done what he said he wants to do. And for now, all of a sudden, to try to play the game or to not believe this to be true because it's so outrageous, it to me is idiocracy. It looks ridiculous. I'm embarrassed for like the president and what the last president of the United States, how he's going to go down. Like, how is Biden going to go down? How do you want to go down, sir? As like giving away the country?
And I don't care about the image of the president.
Me either. You know what? I just like, to save the country or not to save the country. It doesn't seem to me to be a big fucking, excuse me, like decision to make, sir.
Well, and let's also realize this: when you've got a dictator in, and gets into whether we had a valid election in 2024. See, Trump has been saying for years, oh, that was a rigged election in 2020. People should kind of get around this fact. Just because you say, well, okay, then we're not going to contest 2024. Trump gets in office, he's going to say, I want to vacate everything done in 2020 because it was an illegal election. Then he can remove the people who are in Congress or in any state position and remove the one Supreme Court justice that Biden nominated. It's a dictatorship, people.
And he's going to do that. I mean, that's what's going to happen. I'm glad you laid that part out.
Yeah. So anyways, sorry that I got kind of red in the face saying that.
I'm not. I thought it was amazing. Go ahead.
Thank you. Well, and that's going to wrap it up for this episode. Cassie, thank you for being on. And everybody, remember, follow Cassie Jackson on Facebook. And it's blank around and find out. But you said that word earlier, so it's fuck around, find out. And okay, peace, love, happiness, freedom.
Bye.
Have a good one.